thing to say.
It is. It's also perfectly timed. Just before.
They'll never know what was said.
They'll never know.
Sorry,
Neither will we
listeners.
after this recording.
You know, I'm realizing that we have a lot of these bits where we're like, yeah, we're not going to give you this information. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that they'll never know.
Seconds before the recording starts, like even before the bit.
Join our Patreon. No,
No.
we don't
Do
have
we don't
one.
have one of those yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe for
like-
all of Jay's feet pics.
We'll split that 70-30.
I thought you were about to say 70-20. I was like,
I
oh, where's
almost
the other
did.
10% going?
I almost did.
It's mine. The 10% is mine. I
That's
did
fair.
it as a trauma payout.
Well, if we split it... Anyway.
Goes towards Riley's therapy that she desperately needs after every one of these episodes.
Every single
The
Why?
Brunch of Idiots and Riley.
Oh my goodness, I'm dying.
We should rebrand to Riley's Brunch of Idiots.
I'm Aiden.
Riley's Brunch of Idiots. No, I don't want my name on it. Because then if there's like what's it called? A scandal with me involved, then the whole podcast ends up dying because it has my name on it.
In a blaze of glory.
Well, it could just be
And
any
that's not
Riley.
fair to y'all, so.
It could be any Riley.
I don't
Wouldn't
think
it be
anything
the
that
idiot's
happens here is
fault?
fair to...
That's
Yes.
also true. That's a good point.
Hold me down.
Anyway, happy brunch. Hello, everybody. Happy brunch to specifically the region of Boeotia in Greece. I figured
Boeotia.
since we
Heck yeah.
were talking about specifically Hollywood last episode, I feel like we'd give a whole region brunch. I'm here. I'm our host this week. Jay, hello, everybody. I'm here with Aiden,
Hi. Yep, that's me.
RJ,
That's also
Hello.
me.
Riley.
Oh,
That's also me.
okay.
and Riley.
That's me. That's
Okay.
me. Hi.
That took me a second on that bit because I was like, I was going to question it, and then you did it again. I was like, oh, I see.
Aiden is just all of us. Aiden,
Yes.
take it away.
All right, so today...
Today we're playing the
Talking about
survival
shrimp.
game.
Everybody.
Y'all, I had a delicious shrimp cocktail. Let's talk about the specs of owning a shrimp farm, guys.
No!
Just
Before
let
we go-
Jay introduce the episode.
I was gonna say I also had shrimp tonight, but it was off-brand coconut shrimp and not very good. Anyway, our topic this week is Lost in Mythology, or Lost to Mythology, as opposed to in. There's a difference, and you'll see in a second here. So I was watching a friend of mine play a game called Metal Hellsinger earlier this week. And like all of the weapons in that game are named after Greek figures. Like I believe the shotgun is named like Persephone and stuff like that.
That's a weird weapon.
Yes. So the dual pistols in that game are named the Hounds.
The Hounds of
what-
Hell.
Yes. One of which, obviously, everybody knows, Cerberus. Has anybody ever heard of Ortherus? I believe is the
I
pronunciation.
have once
Is that
heard
like
of
a
Ortherus,
three-headed cat?
and it was from the Jim Henson did a puppet and human show called The Storyteller, I believe in the 90s. And he did a bunch of Greek mythology, and I believe Ortherus was included in one of those. So I have heard of Ortherus once.
So Ortherus, I found out after doing some digging, is the brother or sister? Brother of Cerberus. And he's a two-headed hellhound, basically. Now, I feel like before we get too far into the
Budget
episode,
strippers.
I should preface this with I don't know very much about mythology, Greek or otherwise, which is why this is a funny topic for me. But I thought this was interesting because I've never heard of Orthrus before, and so the point of today's episode is lesser known mythological characters. And so if you do happen to know any of these, let us know in the comments below. Or if does Spotify have comments?
Yeah, they're enabled.
Yeah, okay. So, if you happen to be one of the handful of listeners on Spotify,
Talk to
let
us,
us know.
please.
Talk
We're
to us.
lonely.
Yeah.
Please.
So that's how we got this whole thing, that whole short story. Just for a little bit more context, much like his brother Cerberus, Orthrus is the child of Echidna and Typhon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. When I was talking to my buddy who was playing this game I was telling you about, and apparently Echidna is a well-known figure who's just the mother of monsters.
Yeah.
So a lot of Greek mythological characters have ties to Echidna, which is really funny because Echidna is an animal.
Yep.
So is the animal named after the person, or like the inverse? Did they name Echidna after the animal?
Well, I feel like a lot of things were named after mythology, so I guess it would make more sense that the animal came after. Because like a lot of our days too are actually based off of, I believe, Norse mythology. Like the names of the days.
Oh,
like
really?
Thursday, I think, is supposed to be like Thor's Day. Friday is like Freya's Day, something like that.
I thought that was just some neo-pagan shooting the... Well,
It might be. I had
no
heard it a
offense
couple
to
of times.
neo-pagans. I am so sorry for making that sound so derogatory.
I'm not. Anyway.
Lord.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually true or not. I had never looked into it. It was just something that I had heard. Yeah, I'm not super versed on mythology, especially not like a wide range of types of mythology. The one that I'm most versed in, I would think, is Greek. I went through a bit of a phase in high school where I was really into it. One of the ones that immediately pops into mind, Orpheus and Eurydice. I think that's how her name is pronounced.
I've heard it pronounced Eurydice as well.
Eurydice.
So,
Orpheus
Eurydice.
and Eurydice.
Yes. I don't think they're as popular as a bunch of the other characters, but I really like their story. It reminds me of that story from the Bible where the dude's wife turned around, she got turned into a pillar of salt.
Lot and his wife.
Was that Lot?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while
It's
since I
not a
brushed up
lot.
on my Bible, so.
It's definitely
not
not,
a
his
lot.
wife anymore.
Yeah, but I really like them. They're kind of cool. She was bitten by a snake and died, and he went to all this trouble to go to the underworld and bring her back, and then couldn't work with the one condition of not looking back. I think is how it went, and
Yes.
he lost her forever because he looked back.
I cannot recommend enough Jim Henson's Storyteller because they did such a good job illustrating these myths, because they did Orpheus and Eurydice, and it's so good. And it's cheesy because it's puppets, but it's really well done. So if anybody has the time, please, they're a lesser known Jim Henson project, and you need to watch them. I'm begged.
Look into that. That sounds actually like really interesting.
It's fun. I mean, it's a brightly branded item to watch, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm not like a perfect uh person to take recommendations from. But I like, man, those were my teenagehood. I loved those.
Yeah.
And they did a good job illustrating with, specifically with Orpheus and Eurydice, how it wasn't just because he couldn't handle not looking back at her. It was that he was so afraid that they were playing a cruel trick on him and she wasn't actually following him out because he couldn't hear her footsteps behind him.
Yeah, she was
And so
so
the cruel
silent.
trick was indeed played in the end because they made it to where her footsteps could not be heard.
So that begs the question: why look back when you could just walk backwards and check and see if she's still there?
Because she would always remain behind him.
The thing is like, if I were in that position, like, I wouldn't take that chance. Like, even if it was a trick, like, you don't have anything to lose by not looking back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And everything to gain. So I think that's silly. I mean, I get it. I would be, especially if I'd gone through all that stuff, I'd be, a little bit paranoid too.
It
But
shows a bit of a lack of discipline, though,
it does. And you would think someone who went so far and went through so much to get her back, and then he blew it by just disobeying one rule. I mean, he literally went to the underworld for her, on top of a whole bunch of other stuff to get there.
One of the guardians... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Riley.
No, you can...
One of the guardians in the underworld, forget his name, he will let people pass if they sing a song for him. So that guy probably did that. And now I'm thinking of Epic the Musical.
Okay, so before we lose Aiden, what I was going to say is, in some tellings of the story, I don't know if it's on all of them, Orpheus is he's a musician. He's portrayed originally as incredibly flighty and incapable, almost, in a lot of the versions of the story that I've read. Very romantic, but also just deeply incapable. So the fact that he managed to get to the underworld was actually incredibly impressive. Without dying,
Yeah.
I should make that preference.
Without
Without
dying.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I like that story, though.
I have a pretty obscure Icelandic mythology.
Oh,
Nice.
Have you heard of Grimir Oinkini
What?
or Ketil Hanger?
That sounds like me if I skip my lunch break. I'm gonna be so
same,
real with you.
honestly.
Well, it doesn't pertain to either of them because this guy is their son and grandson. His name is Orvar Otter,
Okay.
which roughly translates to arrow's point or arrow odd.
Interesting.
Legendary
Definitely not
hero,
anything about otters.
an anonymous Icelander. When he was an infant, there was a prophecy made that he would be killed by his own horse at the place where he was born, at the age of 300, which also may signify 360, because apparently at that point in time, the Germanic 100 was 120 years instead of 100 years.
Huh.
In order to thwart the prediction, he killed his horse, buried it deep in the ground, and left his home, intending to never return again. As he was leaving, his father gave him some magic arrows,
As one does.
and he fought successfully against several Vikings. He encountered a Swedish champion, Hjalmar, and met his match. The fight was even, and the two warriors became sworn brothers. And they fought a lot of battles together, which I will not read through the whole wiki on that. However, by the time he was around 300, he became homesick, and he went back home, and he walked over the grave of his horse and mocked the old prophecy. And then a snake appeared, and he tripped over the skull of the horse, and the snake bit him, and he died.
That's a wild way to go.
That is.
Make it your whole life. Your horse has deceased before you, and you take a second,
300 years.
stand at the grave of your own horse, and you're like, aha, F the prophecy, trips on the skull, and gets bit by a snake and dies. That's like gotta be the weirdest, like the best technicality.
Not gonna
That is
lie, I think,
so
Jay,
dramatic.
that's how you would go out.
That, yes.
Thankfully, I don't keep venomous snakes.
Screw the
but
prophecy!
that would, no, you're right. Like, I would. Like, aha.
So, yeah, apparently his dad and his grandfather both have sagas of their own, but it wasn't listed here. Also, apparently, the Icelanders had elves. They were called Holdufolk, or hidden people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hidden people.
RJ, did you? Well, no, I guess it's my turn, huh?
Unless you want me to talk about the hidden people.
Yeah, I got some other ones as well.
I'll
Have
keep hidden
y'all
people in the belt.
have y'all ever heard of the Dogon people of Malai in Burkina
No.
Faso?
Okay, I don't think I understood half of what you just said, and that is a very generous percentage.
Not gonna lie,
Eddie
it kind of
is
the
also
sounded-
Dogon people, or Dogon, I don't know how
Dogon
I'm
people,
supposed to.
the
The
Dogon.
Dogon, they are a group of people in West Africa who. This is so funny. I'm so sorry. So, before I finish what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I want everybody to know that I chose this because I felt like it would be a really funny cheat code for between things I'm actually interested in and mythology.
Okay. Okay.
So
She's an unbeliever. Everyone, get her.
Shun the righty.
the Dogon people have, for literally thousands of years, and they have carvings dating back that long, had astrological charts and knowledge that are like far beyond what, you know, Oxford could produce. They're incredibly accurate charts, and not astronomy. No, I'm sorry, not astrology, astronomy. Right? Different. Like
Yes.
actual like charting of the heavens, not just, you know, oh, your mother is going to be mad at you because she's a sausage and her Aries
She's
is
a
in
Sagittarius.
Virgo or whatever. Yeah. Not that version, but like actually no, this is the star Sirius and it's going to cross behind its planet, you know, in 27 years or something like that. It's
You
more
have a
like
cursed
actual
child.
scientific knowledge, right? So they claim the mythology behind their knowledge, which is still accurate, at least to my knowledge, that they were visited by an amphibious alien race from the star Sirius and were taught how to chart the stars by these people.
Okay.
And
They were
as
the
a
first
result,
Scientologists.
no, it's not really Scientology. The interesting thing is it's very it's still very animistic, you know. They have, you know, dances with masks that are made to look like the people that came and imparted the wisdom to them. And, you know, they have rituals that they've been performing for thousands of years that involve, you know, this ancient knowledge. But I just thought it was so funny. Literally ancient aliens. And it's a part of their mythology. It's a part of, like, they have an entire creation story imparted to them from these people that is a massive part of their belief system to this day. Less than half of the Dogon people are Muslim, and even fewer are Christian. Most people in the region follow this religion surrounding the people from Sirius.
That's actually really cool.
But that's what I thought. I had this like in my head, like it's fascinating. It is fascinating, and I can't really talk about it with anybody because they're like, okay, Riley, yeah, you and your alien conspiracy theories and all of
It's
your...
not a conspiracy theory. If an entire people group have believed this for, you know...
so long.
Okay,
for
you two
the
and your...
entirety of their recorded existence.
Okay, you two and your people get out of here with these conspiracy theories.
Wait, what?
They'll send two young men to go and live by themselves and speak an entirely different language amongst themselves, completely separate from the rest of their tribes or their like buildings and stuff, and they're not allowed to come back until the star Sirius is between two peaks of a mountain range that they have in that area. And I have no idea what that's for, but it's really interesting.
That
is wild.
Modern mythology, y'all.
That is
It
actually
still
kind of cool.
exists. It's called animism. I need people to know this. It's not something that people stopped doing. It still exists. It's just called animism because stupid, pompous white men decided that these people acted more like animals than people. And I hate it.
Oh, I don't like that.
It makes me uncomfy. It made me want to bite people, but I'm not going to because I'm semi-not feral.
Yeah, please don't bite people.
want to, though.
Not feral.
That's
Very
a great
animal of you,
descriptor,
Riley. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like that implies that you're more feral than you're not.
What do you
Rather
think?
than be... I mean, I know what you are, but like, I'm just pointing out your wording.
My name is Anakin.
Anyway.
Anyway, that's mine. That's what I brought to the day. That's all I had. That's the only thing I could think of where I was like, yeah, I got some mythology for you.
I have another Greek one, if y'all would like to hear it.
Yeah.
So y'all know, have y'all ever heard of Endymion, I think is how it's pronounced?
Nope.
Yeah,
How's it
Endymion.
spelled?
Endymion. Endymion.
I have not.
So he was a mortal in Greek mythology. So there was Helios. Most people know Helios, god of the sun.
Yeah.
I feel like less people are familiar with Selene, which is his sister, which is the goddess of the moon.
Makes sense.
But so both of them, they were responsible for driving their chariots through the sky. The Helios obviously during the day, and then his sister in the night. Anyway, Selena fell in love with this mortal named Endymion. And she loved him so much. There are a couple of different variations of the story, but generally, I think the most widely accepted is that she couldn't bear to see him age and die because he was mortal. So she had asked Zeus to put him in an eternal sleep. So Zeus put him to sleep, so he was technically then immortal, and he wouldn't age anymore, but he was just always asleep. And so they put him on a mountain, and Selena would go and visit him every night, which I think is a little bit creepy, but also kind of beautiful. But I'm also really curious if that was consensual or not.
You know,
It's Greek, it probably wasn't. I'm gonna be so real with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this brought up an interesting question to me, and I unfortunately didn't pay attention. Helios versus Apollo. And apparently Helios is one of the older generations of gods. He's a Titan. And
Well,
Apollo is
he's-
an Olympian god.
Correct. Yes.
Whereas Helios is the literal sun. Apollo is actually more closely associated to light, as well as music, poetry, healing, and prophecy. But he does not drive the chariot. A lot of people get that wrong.
Who? Apollo?
Yeah, Apollo does not drive the chariot.
Yeah.
A lot of people get that wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because Apollo and his, or not Apollo, Helios and his siblings were born of the Titans Hyperion and Thea, I think is how it's
Yeah.
pronounced. But yeah, I feel like Helios is kind of one of those lesser known ones too. Like I'm sure a lot of people can put together the name, but they also have a sibling named Eos, who's the goddess of the dawn. I don't know why you would need that one specifically. This is kind of a problem that I have with some mythologies, is that like some of the gods and goddesses are like an umbrella over a lot of different things. They'll be like, yeah, the goddess of the harvest and fertility and war and judgment, but only according to apples and fish legs
According
and
to apples and fish.
every left branch of a tree. You know, it's like there's so many of these that just have all these umbrella responsibilities. It's like, well, at that point, just pick one and stick to it. You got 85 gods. Like,
You also start
surely-
getting overlapping ones too between a couple different
Yeah.
gods. 'Cause,
Ares, Athena.
yeah.
Now, here's a question regarding that, right? How much different is that to our obsession with superhero stories?
Good point.
Because one
Someone
could argue
back.
that many of our superhero stories have several people who have the same powers or similar powers, right?
Or
So,
similar origin stories, stuff like that.
Exactly. And I kind of want to say that in 1,000 years, when our corpses are exhumed unwillingly, with, our Superman action figures and our Tony Stark goatees, they're probably going to think the same thing about us.
So you mean to tell me that in the BC, there was a dude that is just like, tablets. We're gonna put comics on these.
No, but I
What
will
if-
say there was probably a dude who had some rambunctious children who was tired
That'd be
and
Homer.
also religious and said, "Hey, kids, settle down. Let me tell you about Helios." And it kind of spiraled from there because humans are the same. They've always been the same. They will always be the same,
Mhm.
So, I
What
would
if,
not be
like-
shocked.
What if Stan Lee and like Jack Kirby are actually immortals and they've just been writing comics since the dawn of mankind?
Stan Lee is obviously not immortal.
Stan Lee.
No, no, he's
Okay.
on an island. He's on the island with Michael Jackson.
And Juice World, who
Yeah.
actually is still alive, by the way, and he actually said so, and people refuse to believe it.
And Robin Williams.
There's a micro conspiracy for you. Should have said that during the episode, dude. I'm so passionate about that. He literally spelled out how he was going to fake his death after getting famous, and he did it. And everyone was like, "Oh, Juice World." I'm like, he's still alive, bro. He literally told you multiple times that he was going to fake his death. It's fine.
Lord.
Anyway.
Before we get too far away from the space theme,
Oh,
Please tell me you're going to talk about Nyx.
no, I would, but I feel like given what we're going for, Nyx is a little bit too, well, I would say well known for being lost to mythology. Nyx, the goddess of night, for those who don't know. Also, like, one half of my online persona is Nyx, lost in space, for those that know me anywhere not on here. Anyway, but I was going to talk about Orion. Well, not Orion specifically, but Orion's daughters.
okay.
Who are Minipe and Medioshi? Mediochi?
Mini Yoshi.
Mini Yoshi.
Not Mini Yoshi.
Oh my
Lord.
goodness.
But I was doing some research and stumbled across these two. Their homeland was struck by a plague, and so they consulted an oracle and found out that the two gods of the underworld, Hades and Persephone, were angry that they and would only be appeased by two maidens, and nobody volunteered to do it. So Minipe and Medioshi just volunteered to save their town from this plague by giving themselves up to go to the underworld.
By
And then
answering a booty call.
yes, basically. So they get down there, right, and they're
So
dead.
Greek.
And so they die, right? They kill
Of course.
themselves, they sacrifice, they go to the underworld, this, that, and the other. Hades and Persephone took pity on them and then turned them into comets.
Ah.
I love those quirky things in Greek mythology specifically where they're like, ah, yes, thank you for doing this. Here, we will turn you into a toad. Oh, okay. And then they're like, here,
Big priest
now you will
hug.
be this random river forever. Oh,
All you have to
thank
do
you.
is take this boulder and roll it to the top of the hill.
That sounds
man.
like something Mom would have had us do when we were little. I'm not gonna lie.
I love the story of Sisyphus, actually, though. It's
Yeah.
really fun. In case anyone wasn't aware, Sisyphus is the guy who was cursed to push a boulder up a hill endlessly, because once he would make it to the top, it would just roll all the way back down. So he'd have to keep starting over and over again.
Yeah, Zeus would keep pushing it.
Can you imagine? Like,
No.
just shows up every day like, Sisyphus. No, Zeus, please. No.
Pushes it down.
It's like a cat.
That
I had
actually
a
kind of
dream
reminds
about
me
this
of
one
this.
time.
There's a Marvel comic where Thanos just shows up every year on this dude's birthday.
Yes.
Yes!
Random dude, no association to Thanos whatsoever. He just showed up. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to ruin your life. Every single year on your birthday, I'm going to show up and do something random to punish you just because I can.
Just for
And-
existing.
There was one year where he forgot. And so he showed up, like, I think the next year or something like that. And this guy, imagine sitting around for a whole year being like, oh, I'm finally free. And then he shows up and he, like, makes his life even worse. And he's like, yeah, don't worry, I won't forget again. It's just,
Oh,
it's so
Lord.
funny. But that's the kind of vibe I think Zeus would have had with Sisyphus. Just been like, oh, you know what time it is. No, please.
No, no.
um, so I've been doing some reading on these hidden people, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
Icelandic elves.
Okay.
So apparently they were large in build. Their clothes were all gray, their hair was black, and they dwelled in mounds. Um, the folktales
Huh.
cautioned against throwing stones, as it may hit the hidden people. Um, and apparently they were very druidic. Um, so like you know all the fairy tales of like the children wandering off or the folk tales of children wandering off and
Uh-huh.
disappearing and such. Well, apparently in the areas of Iceland that had these elves, right? These elves would go out of their way to like direct children away from wandering off.
Huh.
So they were revered and feared.
Were they like? Did you know like roughly what size they were? Like, were
Let
they
me
small?
let me ask how tall. No, because they were a large build.
Oh, you know what vibes they're giving me?
What?
They're reminding me of the there's a I forgot what they're called now. Furbolgs. They remind me of furbolgs.
It might be that the Furbolgs were based off of this
I wouldn't be
mythology.
Oh,
surprised by
apparently
that.
they were large for elves. At least in the mythos, a lot of
That
them
even mean?
ranged roughly 3 feet tall.
Hmm.
Oh.
Interesting. But they had black hair, gray clothes.
They lived in mounds.
Yep.
So
They
I was,
did.
Hobbits is precious.
y'all know how many different Egyptian gods there are, I'm sure.
So
There's a
many.
lot. There's one, I was looking through a list of some of these that are lesser known. There's one called Bess, or it could be known as Aha.
Aha!
Guess what this god was over, like what their domain was.
God or goddess?
On me.
Um,
I need this hint.
I'm assuming female.
What was the name of the god
Goddess.
again? Something or ah?
Bess,
Bess
or Aha.
or
Bess
aha?
or aha?
I'm gonna say goddess of loud frogs.
I'm gonna say infertile women.
Oh,
I'm going to say bloodshed at war.
very, very specific. But no, actually, Jay got the closest. Their domain was protector of children and pregnant women.
I'm
Oh.
shocked I got that.
Wow, that was very close. I was just
a baby.
being me.
Yeah, and apparently some. This article says pilgrims would spend the night in incubation chambers covered with images of Bess and Besset. I'm assuming that's a different.
Oh, I know about
Oh, that was their consort.
Yeah.
Bess and Besset to cure themselves of infertility or impotence. So Jay was actually very close.
Wow.
Just curing that.
Just carrying it, not anything else.
I should have said the goddess of credit cards.
That would have been so funny.
Ancient Egypt had credit cards.
Yes, this is true. That's how they funded the pyramids.
Yep.
Gonna build a pyramid. It's gonna be the greatest.
No.
Probably the
Here's your
greatest
I mean,
pyramid the world's
That's
ever
not
seen.
wrong, because there was that one pharaoh that declared himself sun god.
Yes.
And everybody else was like, uh, okay, Chad.
Whatever, sun god.
Was that
Sure.
Pharaoh
Akhmenrod.
Akhenaten?
I think so.
Because I was actually just looking at this. There was a god who was over the sun in Egypt called Aten or Aton. Aten?
He changed
Aten?
his name.
Yeah, it says
Akhmenrod.
historians believe that Pharaoh Akhenaten's decree to abandon the old gods and worship only the Aten is the first instance of monotheism.
That's
I don't know
not
if that's this.
true.
Well, it says believe. It didn't say that factually.
Okay, that's good.
But
'Cause
I wonder if that's the same one that you're talking about.
I think it
'Cause
is. I think
I
it
remember
is.
hearing about that. I saw that in a documentary one time where they were talking about this pharaoh who was like, where did I see that? What documentary was it? I'll have to look that up.
So funny is the school curriculum that we had being homeschooled actually covered that dude.
Really?
They were very aggressive about Egyptian history. I'm not entirely sure why.
What curriculum was that? I wonder if it's the
Switchstone
same stuff.
Schoolhouse.
Oh yeah, we didn't use that.
No, because it was on the computer, and that would have given you devil brains. My mom was like, I want things to be
Sure
as
enough.
automated as possible. How can I
Oh.
do that?
So Akhmenrod was from Night at the Museum
Yeah.
as another name for Tutankhamun, who
Please tell me you didn't Google Akhmenrod.
I did.
Oh,
And then I Googled Tutankhamun because I knew that there was something about this, and this is the inverse. Tutankhamun instituted the restoration of polytheistic form.
It was also like 12.
Yeah.
yeah. That
It
makes
was
sense.
probably like, I don't know. Do what you want.
Do what you want.
Yeah, Akhmenrod was pretty
Night
fun
in the
though. That's a
Museum.
nice one that was lost to mythology. He had like this tablet which he could use to open a gate to the underworld, and
Yeah.
he tried to,
Yeah.
It was
to,
just a
to
portal to
summon a
Tesla factory.
Tesla.
I'm so
what?
sorry.
Goodness.
At a Tesla
Holy
factory.
moly.
This is why Teslas.
I am.
They're haunted by ancient Egyptian spirits.
Put the end music here. This is the end of the podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
You don't get no words today.
Hayden doesn't want to give me words because I've been bad.
You've been bad. Well, also, I completely forgot to record words. I'm recording some now.
Oh. So, doing some digging into
Doing a
some North mythology.
Norse
Norse.
mythology.
North.
No,
There you go.
specifically
North.
North.
North
mythology.
mythology.
I mean, we could do North. There's a lot of Native American, like Canadian mythology.
But Norse. Forgot how to speak English for a second there. To throw a bone for a specific someone, you know who you are. There is evidently a dwarf or a Duvgar named Gandalf,
Oh,
which is where J.R.R. Tolkien got the name Gandalf from, for, our beloved Gandalf. But it was a dwarf whose name derives from the word wand and protection. So he was a protective spirit against monsters who wields a magical wand.
Gandalf.
Interesting.
Gandalf.
Very nice.
Yes. Lived up to the name, too.
nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've got one of the South African myths on the origin of death in front of me.
Now do tell.
Um, the moon, it is said. I'm just gonna read it from this website because it just is very funny to me. Once sent an insect to men, saying, "Go and tell men, as I die and in dying live, so shall you also die and in dying live." The insect started with the message, but whilst on its way, it was overtaken by a hare, who asked, "On what errand are you bound?" The insect answered, "I am sent by the moon to men to tell them that as she dies and in dying lives, so they shall also die and in dying live." And the hare said, "Well, as you're an awkward runner, let me go and take the message." So with these words he ran off, and when he reached men, he said, "I am sent by the moon to tell you, as I die and in dying perish, in the same manner you shall also die and come wholly to an end." And then the hare returned to the moon, and told her what he said to men. The moon reproached him angrily and said, "How dare you tell the people a thing that I did not say?" With these words, she took up a piece of wood and struck him on the nose. And since that day, the hare's nose is a slit.
That
And
is
I just thought it was so funny. The rabbit got smacked. That's why his nose looks stupid.
That
And
is pretty
also
funny.
why people die.
And also,
You know.
people die because a rabbit lied, and now his nose is split in half.
Now his nose is jacked up. Nobody won that day.
No one won that
Not
day.
even the moon goddess.
No.
Lord.
Oh.
So, I found one from Turkish mythology.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I've pronounced this correctly, but here we go. Yilbegin. Yel, which is wind, magic, or demonic, and then Begin comes from giant serpent or dragon. Over time, instead of being a seven-headed dragon, it became a multi-headed ogre like behemoth.
Same.
Apparently
Really?
associated with the underworld.
Oh.
And this seven-headed creature wanted to take revenge from the sun and the moon, and would eat them. And that whenever an eclipse would happen, they would say that that Yilbigin ate the moon. He would also eat stars and break them into pieces and spit them out, so the stars would run away from him. There's, where is it? The Olgan, they shot arrows at him. Yeah, that's about it from what I got. He's a polar opposite. Oh, Yelmogus is a separate form of dragon and is a polar opposite to the Elbagan in nature.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's
Cool.
all I got.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of wild going from a Hydra to a ogre.
Yeah, that's a
Hydro-
Tell me
wild
about it.
transformation. That I
It's
feel
a
like some
Hydroger.
Some storyteller in the line of telling that story somewhere along the way had aphantasia.
Or they like mistold the story to like a kid, and the kid was like, "Didn't you say there were Hydra?" And he's like, yes. Well, it became an ogre. Oh,
Oh, oh.
It just morphed.
Mighty Morphin Power Hydroger.
I'm
Power
sorry. Could you say that
Hydroger.
one more time for me?
Mighty Morphin Power Hydroger.
Interesting.
The water
Please don't make
drugger.
that one of the words.
Oh,
I'd
it's
have
gonna
to edit
be.
that no,
Hydroger.
I have
Oh,
to
yeah.
throw that in the end.
Hydroger,
Yeah.
Take up the
Hydroger,
whole
let
screen.
water come
Have
over.
fun typing that out, editor.
Me, I'm the editor.
Have fun spelling.
I love leaving it anonymous. Also, to the mystery viewer that got thrown a bone earlier, I'm feeling in a particular mood. Toes! Imagine them!
So-
It's been a while since we had a toes reference.
oh my gosh.
So mean.
It's
Just
so-
calling them out like that.
I mean, I feel like they're the only, like, one of the very few consistent listeners we have.
Usually I apologize for when it happens. Tonight I was in a sassy mood.
That's
Them
fair.
and my
Completely valid.
boss.
Yeah. But it's okay, because we love all of you. And if you made it this far, make sure you comment toes.
Yeah,
please.
do it.
I want to see all them toes in the comments.
Yeah, I'm still confused. We had a listener way back when we first started releasing who commented gay question mark completely out of
mythology.
context. And because I end up listening to each episode like twice in addition to recording, and I don't think we talked about anything that would have elicited such a response.
We did not in that episode, no.
But they just said gay, and I was like, what? Yeah.
Not this
If-
time.
I'm pretty sure that's the only episode they listened to because I haven't seen them since. But if you're still listening, just know that we appreciate you sticking around.
We think
And
about
if-
you
if-
often.
We think about you often.
Do
And if
we?
you ever feel like explaining
we do.
or expanding on your thought process, feel free to share. We'd love to hear it.
Oh.
Well, Hayden,
Yep.
you got words for us? Bud?
Is the host ready for words?
The host is ready for words.
The wording is upon us.
The
The
wording.
wordening.
Break out the kazoos, everybody. This is gonna be a wild one.
Oh God, put them away. Put the kazoos away.
Because
Coffee kazoos.
unfortunately this was kind of halfway through. This short list of words was brought to you by us today. The words are Ra, North Mythology, Stan Lee, Thanos and Sisyphus, Gandalf, Hare's Nose, Hydroger, Toes, and Gay? Thanks for listening.
I love that. I'm going to make that one extra bold too.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm going to see if I can make it like wiggle on the screen like as it grows.
Oh, that would be
Gay.
so funny. Yes. Oh. Well, Jay,
Wow,
You gonna-
yes.
you gonna-
Sorry, I
You gonna
got
close this out?
DM'd and it took far too much brain power.
I got DM'd and it was game over from there.
It was game over. I was gone. Well, speaking of gone, thank you for listening. Have a happy brunch, everybody.
Bye.
been Jay.
Happy brunch.
Goodbye.
Bye.
bye.